Hi ladies, hello Paula. Today I'm going to be making a Mediterranean salmon packet for dinner. First, I just have to say I can't believe how fast this is going. We have 2 weeks left. Two weeks, that's it. But I realized last night that we have forever, all year, next year, the year after that, to hang out, share our recipes, laugh. Oh my gosh, you all are just super funny. I've been having so much fun. But I realized that we have time to hang. So let me get started. I'm in the middle of prepping some of the things that are going to go under the salmon before we wrap it up. On my board here I have some Kalamata olives that I'm going to be chopping up and making into a half cup. I've also chopped up a half cup of artichoke hearts. I'm going to chop up a half cup of sun-dried tomatoes that have been packed in oil. And I have some spices here. I have my 4th teaspoon of garlic powder, 4th teaspoon of dried basil, 4th teaspoon of ground oregano, and a pinch of salt and pepper. You can salt and pepper to taste. I'm going to be mixing all of those things into 8 ounces of the softened cream cheese. So let me just finish cutting these things up and we will get started. While I finish chopping up these sun-dried tomatoes, I better tell you how this recipe came to be, because all recipes have a great story, don't they? So, when I started dating my husband about 7 years ago, I decided, you know, I'm going to knock his socks off with something just amazing for dinner. And I had made beef Wellington before, and I wrapped vegetables in phyllo dough, but my husband really loves salmon. So, I was like, you know what, I'm going to make something Mediterranean. We were living in California at the time, and I was just really into fresh vegetables and fish, and so I just concocted this kind of thing and whipped it together, and we eat it all the time, and I'm sure that this is the reason why he stayed with me. Now that my ingredients are all chopped up, I am going to start my mixer. I have my 8 ounces of Philadelphia cream cheese in here. It's been softened, but I'm just going to kind of get it blended in the mixer on medium speed. And then I'm going to lower the speed and add in my Kalamata olives, half cup of the artichoke hearts that have been chopped, and a half cup of the sun-dried tomatoes. Also going to add my spices right in there, and just let that mix. You may have to scrape down the sides, grab a spatula, turn that off. You can just scrape down the sides to make sure everything has kind of been combined, and just turn that back on, and it's good to go. I'm just going to set this aside, and I'm going to cut up my salmon portions. So with my salmon, I hope you all can see, I am going to just start peeling off the skin. You can have them peel off the skin at the store, which makes it a little easier. But I find that, you know what, just taking a knife and rubbing it under the skin and just kind of gently tugging at the skin, kind of using your knife to push the flesh away, it'll come off nice and easy. So I'm just finishing peeling off that skin, and I'm going to portion it out into 4 servings on my cutting board. And I sometimes score the fish before I actually cut it, just to make sure I have even amounts of servings. Although, you know, sometimes if I know that my husband's going to eat more, I cut it a little bigger, cut myself one a little smaller. So you can portion it out as much as you want. But if you're serving it to guests, just portion it into even 4 portions. To put these Mediterranean salmon packets together, I'm going to start with my thawed phyllo dough. I'm going to take 2 sheets at a time and put it onto a non-stick baking sheet. And I'm going to take 2 tablespoons of butter, and using my watercolor brush, I love this thing, I am going to brush on the butter, not 2 tablespoons per slice, but you're going to use 2 tablespoons of melted butter for the whole, for all the packets. And I'm just going to brush this butter on evenly across the sheet. I'm just putting my last 2 sheets of phyllo dough over the top, making 8 sheets total. And I'm just gonna use all the rest of the butter that's in here. Don't be afraid to just smear it on. It really will help to make these packets crispy and really delicious and golden brown. My phyllo sheets are nice and buttered up, and I'm just gonna cut them into 4 pieces. Just cut it right in half, and then turn it long ways and cut it in half again long ways. We just want to get these into even sections to place our salmon and cream cheese mixture onto. Onto the bottom of the phyllo dough squares, I'm going to place about 1/4 of the mixture onto the bottom of each square. You don't have to press it out to the sides. You just kind of want to fairly keep it in the middle so you can actually fold the packets over. I have my salmon over the cream cheese, and I'm going to show you how to fold them up. It's going to be a little different. What you're going to do is take half of the phyllo dough, so you're going to take 4 strips and pick that up. You have 4 strips remaining on the bottom, and you're just going to flip it over. And what you're going to do is just kind of fold them together so they just create this kind of little packet. And what we're going to do is turn it upside down, and it'll all stay together. I'm just finishing forming the phyllo dough around the salmon and cream cheese mixture. And this is what they're gonna look like. They kind of are just these little free-form packets. Not perfect in shape, they are just really nice and great. I'm gonna put these into my 400-degree oven. I preheated that. I'm gonna put them in there for 20 minutes. My Mediterranean salmon packets are out of the oven, nice and golden brown. They have sat on the stove for about 3 minutes just to cool before I serve them. And let's just serve one of these up.